So first you want to start off by picking your yarn, and since this hat is based off Marie from the AristoCats, the main body of the hat is going to be white to represent her fur. So this is just Bernat's Baby Yarn in white. Then to show off her pink bow, we're just going to get some pink yarn, same weight as the baby yarn, so that's a lightweight or 3. So this is a lightweight yarn. It's Baby Bee, Sweet Delight, and Little Princess, and I think this is the perfect pink to match Marie's bow. Then you'll be needing your needles, so we're going to have a 16-inch circular needle, size 7 needle, and when it comes down to the end, you'll also be needing matching double-pointed needles, or you'll have to work the magic loop method. You'll need a few stitch markers, tapestry needle, a measuring tape, and some scissors to cut your yarn. So we're going to start off by taking our pink yarn and our needles, and we're going to cast on 80 stitches. Now you can do any cast on method. I'm just going to go with the long tail one, but since this is 80 stitches, you could always do the crochet cast on so you don't have to measure a length of tail. So we're just going to go ahead and cast on 80 stitches. So once you have all your stitches cast on, you just want to make sure that they're all straight on your needle. And then you're going to place a stitch marker to mark the beginning of our rows. And we're just going to work a 1x1 rib, pretty basic. And we want this pretty thick, so we're going to work about 2.5 inches of a 1x1 rib. So you just want to start off by knitting one, bring our yarn to the front, purl one. Bring our yarn to the back, knit one, and purl one. And just repeat that all the way around this row and for 2.5 inches. So once you have your 2.5 inches of knit one, purl one rib, we're going to do an increase row. So we're going to start off by knitting one, and then we're going to do a knit in the front and back increase. So you go into knit, leave the stitch on your left needle, and go to the back loop of that same stitch, and knit, and then pull off the left needle, and you've created that 1 into 2. And you're going to repeat that all the way across this row. So you're just going to knit one, and then knit in the front and the back to increase. And you're going to repeat that all the way across. And this will take our count to 120 stitches. Once you've worked your increase row, now we're going to go ahead and switch over to our white yarn. So just leave a small tail inside the hat, and we're just going to knit all our stitches. So we're just switching them all over to white. And from here, we're just going to go ahead and knit the body of our hat in just plain stockinette. So since we're working in the round, it's just knit every row. And we're going to do this until our hat measures 5.5 from the cast on edge. So just keep knitting with the white and then measure from the edge 5.5 inches. So once you've reached your measurement, now we're going to decrease for our crown. So we're going to start off by doing a slip slip knit decrease. So you're just going to slip your next stitch, slip the second stitch, Put your left needle in the front and knit the two together. And then we're going to knit 18. Once you have your 18, then we're going to place a stitch marker. And we're going to repeat that all the way around this row until we've placed 5 stitch markers, excluding our row starting one. So if you don't have colored stitch markers, then you're going to wrap a contrasting yarn or something around your first stitch marker to mark your row stitches, and have the other ones for your decreased stitches. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around until you've placed your 5 markers. So you just start off with a slip slip knit, knit 18, place a marker, and repeat. So once you've placed all your stitch markers, then you're just going to knit one plain row. Now you're just going to repeat that same process with the decreases, starting with the slip slip knit, working to your stitch marker, past the slip marker, and then repeat. Slip slip knit, knit to marker, slip the marker, repeat. And then followed by a plain knit row, and you're going to repeat that until you have 48 stitches remaining. Once you get down to your 48 stitches, we're going to start decreasing every row until you only have 6 stitches left. And at any point when the stitches start to get tight, you can switch to double pointed or the magic loop method. So once you're down to your last 6 stitches, you're going to repeat knit 2 together, knit 1. And that should leave you with only 4 stitches left. And at this point with the hat, you can either just cut your string, weave it through the last stitches, pull it tight, and finish the hat. Or if you want to make the top knot, that will be at the top of our hat, you're just going to use either your circular or double pointed needle, and where you last finish off, you're just going to slide it to the right side so that the yarn is coming out the opposite end. And you're going to swing it over to the side, and we're going to work an I-cord for 3.5 inches. So you just have the yarn coming out the other side, the opposite end, slide your stitches to the other side of your needle, and knit your stitches. By pulling the yarn around to the other side, you're creating a cording with your remaining stitches. So once you knit across them, you never turn your work. We're just going to slide it down to the other side of our needle. And again, the yarn is coming off the opposite end of our stitches. And we're going to knit the stitches again. And we're just going to repeat this process until we have 3.5 inches of an I-cord. Then just slide it to the other side and knit. So once you worked your length of I-cord, then you're just going to finish off by drawing it through the remaining stitches. Now we're going to make our little knot for the top of the hat. So you're just going to take your I-cord, make a circle up over itself, and then you're just going to pull the tail just lightly through it, because we don't want to pull it completely flat. We're going for like a little round shape like this. Then you can put your hand in the hat so we can push it down flat, and you're just going to smush it to the top of your hat. Then you're just going to take this tail in and you're going to draw it back through and tack this knot onto the very top of our hat, and then you're going to weave in all your ends. So this is what the hat looks like at this point, and you can leave it here if you like. And if you'd like to continue to add Marie's signature big bow, then keep watching. So for the main part of the bow, you want to go ahead and knit a 13-inch length, and you can make your bow in whatever pattern. You could do seed stitch, moss stitch, I did a 1x1 rib, so I just knit one, purled one, and I cast on 20 stitches, and I worked the rib for 13 inches, and this will be the bow. So now what you're going to do is take your tail ends and you're going to sew it together here to create a circle. Pinch it, and then that's our bow. And you can make this as big as you want your bow loops to be. So you don't have to do 13, you could do less or more depending on how big. You're also going to knit the middle piece, which will be wrapping to hold our bow. We're wrapping it like that. So I just did my knit one, purl one rib, and I did it for 2.5 inches. And after you sew this together, then we're going to stick it in the middle to help create our bow. So you just want to sew by picking up each cast on, cast off edge of both sides of your bow and just continue across till you have it all connected together. So once you have it all sewn up, then you're just going to take your little centerpiece and you can kind of accordion fold the bow so it's easier to wrap. Then you're just going to hold it to the front and pull it tight around to the back. You want to make sure that your loops are even, and then you're just going to sew up the back. And there's your finished bow. All you have to do now is tack it to your hat and enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this Marie inspired hat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.